Some people dream of becoming big stars, starring in movies, acting in commercials, and even walking on the red carpet. One legendary actress is telling me that all that glitters isn't gold. She's also warning me of the dangers of becoming pigeonholed to notorious roles. But there is some hope for aspiring actors and actresses. She's giving tips on how you can overcome those obstacles. Margaret Avery has spent over 30 years acting in major movies like Block Party, Meet the Browns, Cool Breeze, Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins, and so many more. But her most notable role was in the 1985 drama The Color Purple, where she played as the dazzling singer Shug Avery. How did you land the role for Color Purple?
Oh, now that's what I would like to talk to Taraji about. What was her experience in getting the role in mine? Uh, I had to fight for it, and hopefully she had it offered. But it was quite a thing because the producers wanted a singer, and I can understand that. Producer being Quincy Jones, then being a music person. But fortunately for me, Tina Turner turned the role down. So when I was promoting myself for it, Reuben Cannon, the casting director, said, Margaret, you're just not right for the role, but I'll see you, after I encouraged it to. And then after I read, he said, I know you're not right for the role, but hey, your work deserves to be seen. So I owe so much to those two people, because when Steven Spielberg and Alice Walker, our wonderful writer, when they saw me, they said, hey, this is our show. And I also owe this to Tata Vega, because she was my singing voice. I, at the time, was doing a lot of singing as a pop and jazz singer, but I could never have done the killing song of God's Trying to Tell You Something. Everybody knows that song. And Tata Vega, a little 5-foot Puerto Rican bombshell, just sang it to death. I could have done the others. Sister, you've been on my mind. But that God's Trying to Tell You Something? No. Thank you, Tata, again. And nobody reads credits. People still think I sang it, but I have to confess, wish I had.
But sometimes when audiences are wowed by a performance, it sticks in their minds forever. Margaret, like many great actors and actresses, found herself pigeonholed to a role. Taraji P. Henson, who is now playing Suge in the remake of The Color Purple, notably found herself in the same predicament, an experience Henson notes in her autobiography. But despite a minor setback, Margaret worked even harder to obtain her goals. Listen to this. So why do you believe that you were maybe stigmatized or pigeonholed for that certain role?
Well, it's not unusual that when an actor does work that's really outstanding, uh, because of the structure and the nature of the business, and if you don't have control of the kind of work that you want to do, uh, you're gonna. The tendency is for producers or a director to say, "Oh yeah, I like her for this." Well, it turns out what he's seen is what he wants for his project. So you go from drama to drama, and I know people who are wonderful with comedy, and they want to get into drama, but they can't because they're stuck with that same thing. So if you can write, and I say that to people now, get into writing, because the writers really seem to own the business right now. They can make themselves executive producer, as well as some of them are even directors, and they can't direct. That's where your skill and knowledge of your craft comes to hand, because you're always going to have to, a lot of times, you're not going to work with a director who can make you do even a better performance. You're going to have to do a better performance in spite of them. And I know that sounds crazy, but you're out there when that picture comes out, that movie comes out, the people are looking at you. You're the one that's got to make that character believable.
Margaret tells me how knowing her craft saved her career in more ways than one. She wants the world to know that she's here to stay. So let's talk about now your current career. So now you've just released Block Party on BET Plus, and
Mhm.
how was that?
Got a shot to do comedy. Thank goodness for Dawn Wilkerson. Um, she gave me a shot, the director. And what was unique about the project is that there were all Black women who pulled that together from Grand Rapids, Michigan, where we shot it. So I'm proud for them. Um, and then I got to work with Antoinette Robertson, who was from Dear White People, and Golden, who is from Girlfriend. Both, I played Golden's mother and Antoinette's grandmother, and she treated me like I was her real grandmother. She was always looking out for me. Did you take care of Miss Avery? Don't you know she needs this in her trailer? And whatever. But once again, it wasn't a perfect experience, but it was a wonderful experience in that a lot of times things happen on sets and that just happen, chaos, but you've got to remember to be professional and do what you're there to do, regardless. Like I said, I got to do a break of being funny for a change.
And as Margaret continues to utilize her talent and follow her passion, she's offering a bit of advice for generations to come.
I always say it has to be your passion. I've said this before, because you can't get into it because you think you want to make a lot of money or you're going to be a star, you want attention, whatever. It has to be something you just know you have to do, or you would just be unhappy for the rest of your life unless you at least tried it. And I say this because it's a brutal business. You never really get to hear or read about what actors are going through. Because usually, if you do a magazine interview, they glorify what's going on with you because that's better news. But there's a lot of things that go on in the business that are sensitive. You've got people who are just downright rude and cruel. You've got to have a thick skin. You've got to know who you are. I say have a great relationship with God. Know your craft. And I always compare it to real estate. They say, where should you buy? And a real estate agent will always tell you location, location, location. That's the most important thing. But I say to an actor, know your craft, know your craft, know your craft. Because that's going to save you a lot.
Alexiz Young reporting.